track reviews.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And it's time for a track review, my thoughts and opinions on a brand new song and single. This one is from 21 Pilots. The duo is back. New record on the way. If you guys remember, there was a point last year, just as the pandemic was beginning and the lockdowns were occurring, where they dropped that what was it? Level of concern. That's what it was, and it seemed like maybe we were going to get some kind of like pandemic project or something like that. Didn't quite pan out, and I suppose I'm kind of happy about that because it wasn't the best song from them I'd ever heard, and the track doesn't seem to have made the cut here on the new record. Before we get into that, let me just give a quick shout out to the good people over at The Ridge. They make these awesome, nifty, sleek, sexy, minimalist wallets that fit nicely in your front pocket. Get rid of that wallet clutter today with the cards, with the money clip, with the link down below. Using promo code MELON, you get 10% off your order. And that's that. Okay, so the track Shy Away is the song to try here. That is going to be the teaser. Let's see how it came out. Ba-bam. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. I hope this is kind of setting the tone for a different sonic direction on the new record. I mean, the teasers from Trench were just so heavy. Were dark, were a little abrasive, kind of just roaring. Kind of seemed like the band was going for a grander, just more ominous sound. On this track over here, it's lighter, it's more brisk, it's peppier, and it's not really all that heavy or, I guess, overtly rock influence. It's really more of a piece of synth pop than anything. To the extent that this feels like a rock song to me, it kind of reads to me like a Killers song from the 2000s. It just feels very Killers to me, and not necessarily in a bad way. I think it is a good, solid tune all around, and it's not so derivative I would mistake it for a Killer song or anything like that, but the very simple drums and driving bass and subtle new wave influences and passionate lead vocals, that combination to me just reads very Killers, especially toward the end where things kind of get hot and heavy sonically. The lyrical themes of the track aren't too bad. Basically not being shy, not being afraid to say your piece, express yourself, be open, breaking this cycle of maybe self-doubt, which again, I think is good. The track all around is quite inspirational and anthemic and feel good. Again, it's a little pop rock, it's a little new wave, it's a little 80s, but almost like a modernized version of that, which is, again, another reason that I think back to a band like The Killers, because that's kind of a similar mix of sounds that they came onto the scene with in the 2000s. I really genuinely wonder whether or not this is going to be a sound and a style that the duo really like continues with for the length of this entire LP, because, you know, that heaviness that they teased toward on Trench, they were pretty dedicated to it for the duration of the record. And often 21 Pilots albums are nothing if not thematic and consistent. I mean, even if, you know, I'm not crazy about the themes of the songs or maybe the style of the writing or the genres that they're kind of fusing together, they're usually consistent with how they approach each new record. So in a way, I do kind of doubt that this would be the lone new wave style outlier on the entire record. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more tracks on here that had a bit of an 80s flair, which, you know, not just linking it back to the Killers, but linking it back to almost like a greater trend of that. There's a lot of stuff out there right now that is embodying that 80s vibe, that synth pop vibe, whether you're talking about The Weeknd, or whether you're talking about tracks off the new Justin Bieber record. The 80s and synth pop are really just coming back with a vengeance for some reason. I don't know why. There was a time in the past where there was a bit of an 80s revival, and, you know, usually when a revival happens, it happens and it goes. But now we just seem to have this other 80s renaissance in a way, and I'm not exactly sure what's in the water that's causing it, but I guess it's here, and we'll see how long it stays around. I mean, hey, I could be wrong here, and every other track on here could go in a totally different direction, and if it did conceptually, that would be refreshing too. But as far as this track goes, I think it's fine. It's quite nice. It's quite catchy. It's not as bold or as exciting necessarily as any of the songs on Trench, but it's still a well put together, well produced song, and it's still a tune that seems to have a lot of thought put into the lyrics, and it's well sung, well performed. But let me know what your thoughts are on this track down in the comments. Did you love this one? Did you hate this one? Did you get anything out of the lyrics? Did you get anything out of this sonic direction? And are you hoping, fingers crossed, that they will be able to outdo Trench on this one? Let me know. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, 21 Pilots, forever.